So the other day, I got accused of overthinking a subject. And my immediate reaction was, thank you. Yes, you're right. I am overthinking that subject. I have been an active overthinker my entire life. Maybe you know what that feels like. For me, it started because I didn't understand the world I lived in. That is, everybody feels that, I think, at some point in time. Even those people who understand the system that operates in this world, or a system that operates in this world, and they can operate in that system successfully, consistently successfully, and become very important and powerful people. They only understand that system, and they think, or some of them think, that understanding of the system explains how the world works to them, but that's not the case. Yes, I am overthinking that subject, this subject and every other subject. I've been doing it my whole life. And when I had a life-changing event a few years ago, I took the advice that's everywhere in our society. If you want to be happy in life, find something you love and make that your work. So I had the privilege and opportunity to sit down, experience this life-changing experience, at the risk of being redundant, and then fully decide what I want my side work to look like. And when I did that, a big part of it was to make plenty of time, opportunity, and to gain the tools to successfully overthink any subject I damn well please. So yes, I am overthinking that subject. In fact, I am enjoying overthinking any subject. But maybe you know what it's like I'm sure you know what it's like to not understand the world around you, but maybe you know what it's like to have that lack of understanding fuel your overthinking tendencies. Maybe for you, because I know there's a large portion and a growing portion of our population that can understand this, maybe for you, that tendency to overthink and that lack of understanding the world you live in, or the world you live in absolutely actively frustrating you, has driven you into isolation, like so many of us. Only to find out that your overthinking continues and drives you into something like stagnation, where you cannot help but overthink. So you run from thinking in general and you just focus on what will make me happy right now, whether it's shots of dopamine through things like gaming, gambling, streaming, lovers, whatever it is that's doing it for you. You run from the overthinking because it's just stagnating you. I lived in that stagnation for decades. I know exactly what it's like to be in that darkness. And it's not all darkness. A lot of positive comes out of that. It's one of the reasons that I find some people too shiny. It feels like a sense of, almost like you're missing something like half of the experience because you're ignoring that darkness and only focusing on the light. And it seems like our society kind of encourages that. Like psychology or therapy has gotten to this point where, and I don't know, I'm not in therapy, but it's gotten to this point where they try to make you look on the sunny side as much as you, so that they increase the volume of effort you spend on the sunny side and decrease the volume of effort you spend in the darkness. I think that's a mistake. I think humans are more robust than that. We just don't have a system in place that profits off of that any more than health insurance. But maybe you are somebody who has found yourself isolating or strong tendencies of isolation and overthinking or avoiding thinking at all because you don't want to overthink. And I understand the fear, really, or it doesn't even have to be fear. It can just be repeated discomfort that convinces you that the thinking is not worth it for you anymore, that it only harms you. It has only led you to be in this stagnated place of isolation, or just being unhappy while you're not. I mean, not everybody isolates the way I do. Some people isolate in public places, like they actively go out and they have to be in public places, but they still do their best to isolate, whether that's through keeping people out of their range, away from them, putting up their walls, or just being excellent so that they intimidate people away. There are many ways of seeking this isolation. Mine is not the only example. If you're somebody who does this, I have a little bit of homework for you. Because I was there. I remember exactly what it was like to live in that place, to run from discomforting thinking or modes of thinking. Maybe you've been there a long time, because I spent a long time there. I spent decades there. And I'll tell you one of the things I got out of it. Because after I had my life-changing experience, I recognized the way I was living before and what I wanted to do going forward. But the change was important. To find something positive in all that time of darkness, for me, was the realization that all of that time I was accumulating data. I was accumulating experience with that data. I was accumulating experience in finding that data. Nowadays we have algorithms, but the world is changing and it will continue to change, probably faster going forward. Let me show you what my solution was to this, because I think that the isolation, while comfortable, keeps us from doing what we can to actually fix the world we don't understand. Like, to actually change it so that this is not so much a driver into isolation, not so much a thing that discomforts everybody that we've ever met, but something that can be understood, can be affected, and can be improved. I definitely recommend, after coming out of that darkness, I recommend that you find something that gives you purpose. And that's why I do talks like that, try to explain how to find where your power is, how to find where your talents are, how to get rid of all the distractions. I defined consciousness for you. And look at this. Like, I tell you the definition of consciousness. My doing that can be illustrated like this. If you wanted to explain math to a being that had no conceptualization of math whatsoever, to do that, if I was a being that was in that situation, I had to explain to somebody the math. Let's say I'm explaining to you the math. All right. You have no conceptualization of the math. I'm going to try to explain math to you. I'm going to start as simple as I can. I'm going to go 1 + 1 = 2. There is no confusion of zero. There is not in the zero sum or the negative. There's no confusion of negative numbers. It's easily replicatable. I can give you 1 stick plus 1 stick equals 2 sticks. It can be easily demonstrated. It's the basic way I would start to explain math. When I first started this work, when I had my life-changing experience, what I saw and then tried to explain was unintelligible. It was all good and well that it inspired me and showed me hope and gave me purpose, but there was no way for me to communicate it to you. There's no way. I tried getting into flow states and then just letting it fly onto the camera. I tried overthinking it and writing out all these exhaustive details and outlines. Nothing worked, because I was trying to explain something. If I was trying to teach math, I was trying to teach algebra. I need to start with 1 + 1 = 2. The 1 + 1 = 2 definition of consciousness is an organic process, mimetically driven or fueled, leading to mind. That is the absolute simplification of it, as far as I can tell. And size is probably defeating me here, but that is as simple as I can make it, as replicable as it can be. as I can make it. That is the definition of the second replicator we've discovered on this planet in 1 + 1 = 2 format. And why did I bother to do that? I know that if I want to explain something big, I'm not capable of that. What I need to do, I can understand these things, but I need to be able to explain them to others because I cannot understand it for them. I need to give the tools that are required to understand the bigger picture, but you have to understand it by getting it yourself. Which is awesome because I have a respect for the diversity of intelligence. My giving you understanding makes no sense if I want the diversity that is found in you. So I need to give you the tools so that you can find it so that we can enjoy the diversity that shows in you. Think of the overthinking that went into that definition. Yes, I am certainly overthinking those subjects. No, I don't think I'm unique in doing that. I think a lot of people are doing that. That definition is meant so that if you are somebody who's identifying with this deep thinking and this isolationism and this and ultimately this stagnation, it's almost like when you overthink unsuccessfully for long enough times, you get paralyzed, unable to even take action. That definition is boiled down so simply because in replicating it, it needs to be a tool. When you are in these places, when you are overthinking, all I want you to do is take note of the things you are replicating. I don't care what they are. I want to be blonde, or I need a new job, or I'm not good enough, or I deserve, or I don't care what it is. Just identify them. That's it. For now, all I want you to do is gain the ability to identify the things you are repeating. That's it. If you are one of my Christian brothers or sisters, I want you to understand that I am not saying something against God here. This is by design, then it is by God's design. This is how it's supposed to work. This is how it has been working. This is how it will continue to work. It is the meme. See, we call it meme. That's our word for it. That's our term for it. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure God's word for it is word. The word is the memetics that is God. When you are thinking, when you are overthinking, when you are, it doesn't matter the frequency you're at, whether it's joy or desperation or love or searching. For me, a lot of my depth nowadays, since I've gotten past the despair, since I've gotten past the insecurities and the fear of it all, out of the darkness, I would call it. For me, the overthinking is an exploration. I don't even know often what the subject will be. I try to have a subject because I try to do these talks and I try to help, but at any given time, a completely different subject can make itself present and say, hey, this is what we're working on tonight. And if you spend, distractions are one thing, but when the purpose of the meditation is the exploration, as long as you don't have 50 distractions, you just have the one, you take that shiny thing and you run with it, you will not believe the things that you discover. I think it's important that all you do for now is isolate and make note of the things you are replicating when you are in those states, when you are overthinking, or when you are calm and trying to make progress and trying to understand things. Make note of the things you replicate so that you can analyze these things. If the things you replicate are, I want to be blonde. Well, then, if that's what thinking deeply for you is, then go for it. If your overthinking is something like, I'm not good enough, I want you to flag that thing. I want you to understand, like, it doesn't matter the subject. Like, let's say it's work and so is better than you. I'm not good enough. Let's say it's play and so can shoot better baskets or pool balls or whatever than you. I'm not good enough. I want you to recognize that I'm not good enough. When it's on multiple subjects, it's the thing you are repeating that is having an effect on all those subjects you're thinking about. It doesn't have to be I'm not good enough. Maybe it is I'm great. The thing that you are repeating is mainly important to you. I'm trying to help you understand that these are the things I want you to look for. And be mindful of the stagnation. If you want to make a difference, if you want to make progress, understand that it is only you stopping that from happening. By and large, nobody else in the world will care whether I make progress or not. They don't even experience it. They don't understand it. They don't identify with it or come along with me for the ride. Do you want to make progress? Then start to pay attention to these things, because your consciousness is an organic process that is ongoing. It will continue to go, whether or not you are driven or fueled. So yes, I was definitely overthinking that subject, and I will definitely continue to overthink every subject, and I will continue to enjoy overthinking every subject. Yeah.